Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mystic Butterfly. I apologize for my lack of consistency in uploading. As all of us most likely know, the events going on worldwide, COVID-19, yes, but also all of the negativity going on and all of the killings and police brutality, really hurts my heart, and I just don't understand the direction that humanity goes in sometimes, or not even humanity generally, but just people. I decided today to do a reading on messages from the angels and ancestors, and even just some animal spirit guides here as well, to kind of give us messages of hope, or things that we should know to kind of help us feel a bit better in a way. I will move the candle soon, just to a different place, so that we can maintain the connection, but I don't want it to be a little distracting with the camera. So I'm going to light some Palo Santo just to clear the energies, clear myself, be able to better connect with my intuition. By the way, I have the air conditioning on, so that weird sound in the background is the AC. I apologize. Just a little bit more. I want to get this fire real stoked. There we go. So I clear all these energies. I'm also going to do a sound cleansing, or even just a way to, oh, I love the smell of Palo Santo. Just to get a little bit more, I don't know, just make the space better. This candle will be moved to the side. Okay, I guess I put it here. Alright, so for pile 1, I have this lepidolite stone with this image as an indicator. For pile 2, I have a bloodstone crystal with this image as an indicator as well. If you're like me, sometimes I like to choose based on timestamps, so I will link those in the description. This is my tarot deck. I did not pre-shuffle any tarot just because I want to use this one and I want to use them for both. So I didn't want some cards to be used, I just wanted the whole deck there. And this is a piece of labradorite. This is labradorite as well, and then this is rose quartz, and this is selenite. Okay, so I'm going to move pile 2 to this side, and let's get started. So I'm going to start with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. We have Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. Summer, bask in joy and light. The best is yet to be. Good things have happened, but even better things will be presented in the future. Eyes of love. I love this image, by the way. Eyes of love. Focus your eyes on loving actions and your lips on loving words. It's beautiful. And we have Angel of Emergence. It is time for the real you to emerge. Angel of Space Clearing. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Goddess of the Shadows. What you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. Didn't I just read something about treasure? Anyhow. Angel of Prayer. Ask the universe and the angels for help and guidance. Goddess of Compassion. Self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth. Okay, I'm going to finish laying out the cards and then I'll get a better picture here. So I have birds, which symbolize soul, divinity, liberation, creativity, and rebirth. Then we have the puma, which is power, desire, and healing. And insect, feminine power, spirituality, and renewal. Now, I see a lot of, there's definitely some chakra activations here. I would say heart chakra, most definitely the heart chakra. The third eye as well, and something that I like to think of about the third eye is that it's not only just intuition about others, intuition about our circumstances, our environment, but also our intuition about ourselves, about how we, the ability to know how we're doing, how we actually feel, what's going on in our inner world. So I see a lot of that happening. There's a lot of third eye activation, a lot of heart chakra activation here, definitely. I feel like there's a sense of not trusting yourself, or feeling like, or thinking maybe that, oh no, that must not be it because XYZ, or I must be wrong, or like that self-doubt. Like here it says self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth. Self-worth. I apologize for if I stumble over my words. Then we have here the angel of emergence. It's time for the real you to emerge. So maybe we're hiding. Maybe you're masking a little bit. Here as well with the goddess of the shadows. What you perceive to be your dark side holds a hidden treasure. Trusting your instincts. Maybe sometimes trying to be a little more on the bright side of things. You know, like basking in the joy and the light. Seeing the bright sides of the negative situations. At least like it's the worst circumstances, but what's going on in the US right now with like the death of George Floyd and Breonna, oh my gosh, why can't I remember her last name? I'm so sorry. But all of these people that have died for no reason, I feel like people are angered now. People actually, there's more things going on, more activism. And actually, if you look back in history, you will notice that every time Saturn goes into Aquarius and a lot of the other planetary aspects going on, there's always some sort of like some sort of rioting or some sort of upheaval going on in society. Aquarius has to do with humanity. Anyways, moving on. What's this? The Seven of Pentacles. Honestly, I tried recording this yesterday and it didn't work. And I got the Seven of Pentacles yesterday for pile 1 as well. Okay. One moment, please. So we have here the Six of Wands in reverse. Justice. The Three of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting because some of these cards, so the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles came out for y'all yesterday. At the bottom of the deck we have the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. I see here that you're definitely being guided to be more honest with yourself. Look at all the hard work you've done, all the shadow work that has been done and processed, and even just acknowledged or being aware of the shadow work that we have to work on. Like with this Goddess of the Shadows card, that just tells me that working on our shadow selves, or working on your shadow self, has the hidden treasure of, you know, being able to, in a sense, move on from like trauma, and it's hard to move on from trauma, but even just like for me, there have been times when I'm like, okay, this happened to me, but did it happen to me or did it happen for me? Did it happen for my growth? I am more empathetic now. I can understand others better. I have a bigger perspective. So working on and opening the heart space, because I know a lot of times trauma can really close off our hearts. But it's really important to be able to open up that heart space for love to come in, for abundance to come in, even for self-love and self-worth and confidence and self-esteem to come in. We need to open up our heart space more. So we have the world as a heart here. Then we have the heart chakra here with the being marked with the serpent. We have an angel here of prayer, holding the hands in prayer by the heart chakra. Another one here holding her hand up by the heart chakra, compassion. And then we have a lot of third eye influences here as well. Some of you might like music, and it may have been some time since you've really listened to music or taken time to really reflect, or even playing an instrument if you do that, or singing. There have been good things that may have happened in your life, but just know that those good things came in to open up the doors for bigger and better things. The lunar eclipse on June 5th, today's June 3rd, so on June 5th the lunar eclipse is going to happen, and I feel like there might be a lot of intuitive messages coming in for you on that night or that whole day, or even just leading up to that and the days afterwards. We also have a solar eclipse. I believe it's June 20th. Fact check me on that. But I also want to, yes, owls. Okay, if you ever hear owls, there are definitely a lot of owl symbolism around here, like in the cards: butterflies, birds, insects. I know those are kind of like broad animals, but they're around you. Look, there are crows, owls, white birds, small birds, large birds, insects. Because on the puma here we have an owl, we have another bird like a crow, I would say. And the bird one, we have a person with what looks like a dove, an eagle perhaps, I'm not sure. But this is the card of general birds. And here we have a light side, kind of like a moon, and then a darker side of the moon. So this is kind of like as above, so below type of thing. And we were talking here about the goddess of the shadows. So I'm going to read what birds symbolize. Symbolism: soul, divinity, liberation, creativity, and rebirth. And the lore behind this is winged creatures are powerful symbols in many cultures around the globe, often representing deities of other supernatural beings. Through flight, birds symbolize liberation and link the upper spiritual world and the lower earthly world. The Egyptian gods originated as birds, retaining part of their original anatomy as they evolved into humans. The Egyptian soul is represented as a bird with a human head. In Hindu cosmology, birds represent higher levels of being. In this painting, young men shall have their visions. A multitude of birds denotes wisdom and the connection between the earthly and spiritual realms. And that makes sense with what I was just saying, like the dark and the light side of the moon. There's a as above, so below. Excuse me, sorry, allergies. Yes, so yeah, I'm getting there's a lot of shadow work you have to do. There's a lot of, I know a lot of people look to tarot readings online for love connections. There's a lot of earthly connections here, but there is a Three of Cups, and it's almost like this person has come, and there are many suitors or many people coming to kind of try and fill that person with their cups. So maybe there's probably something from your childhood, from early on in your life, that is blocking the heart chakra from really opening up to true love. And what I mean by true love is really caring for another person, really trying to work through the problems and work through the conflicts and work through the pain and the hardship of what a relationship is, because relationships aren't all sunshine and flowers and rainbows. There are dark, stormy nights as well. But if you really love someone, you're going to try your best to work through it because you want that person in your life. You feel good with that person. So I'm going to read about the puma, which is power, desire, and healing. The puma, like the jaguar and the leopard, represents powerful magic. It also symbolizes an awakening of energies and desires that can lead to healing and fulfillment. And I was saying that about healing the heart space and working on the shadow work that we have to do in order to be able to move on and to open ourselves up and to feel better and to have more abundance and love and prosperity come into our life. It says, along with the other animals in the drawing, the puma is framed by a circle with 4 points, which forms a mandala, a mystic circular symbol that in Buddhist and Hindu traditions was used as an aid to meditation. The psychologist Carl G. Jung said that the mandala circumscribed a holy place, was a symbol of completeness with the inner psyche, and was a means towards a greater self-awareness. He described the 4 points of the mandala to be like the crossed threads in the telescope of our understanding. And I'm going to read the insect. Feminine power, spirituality, and renewal. Insects are the most plentiful of beasts, consisting of more than 800,000 species. Their ability to metamorphose and fly has led to frequent symbolic associations with the spirit world and the spiritual renewal. The praying mantis has long been associated with feminine power, as the female is larger and stronger than the male. The mantis-like insect in this painting is from Buffalo Gals Won't You Come Out Tonight, Pomegranate, 1994. A story by Ursula K. Le Guin with illustrations by Boulay. Okay, so feminine power, healing, regeneration, transformation, rebirth, liberation, creativity. Angel emerges, time for the real you to emerge. Yes, definitely. The hard work is gonna pay off. You know, it's hard. It is so difficult to work through our shadow self, to learn from our past mistakes and the lessons that we're currently going through in order to evolve and better ourselves and pay off karmic debt even. It is rare for 7 planets or 7 astrological phenomena to be in retrograde at the same time. So clearly this is a year of renewal, regeneration, and things that must be done. Yes, definitely. Just know you're being watched over. Your hard work is being protected. It's not for nothing. You know, it's not like you're wasting your time doing the shadow work and doing the work that you need to do in order to be able to move on. And also be careful with what you say and what you do. Sometimes out of strong emotion we act rashly and say and do things that we don't necessarily mean, but it's just in the heat of the moment in our emotions. And what we give out is what we get. So being loving or even just gentle with our approach with others is going to be super beneficial. Again, pay attention to if you see crows, if you hear owls, you know, even deer, big cats, even regular cats. I would say pay a lot of attention. There's a lot of cats here, a lot of birds. And your ancestors definitely want you to know that you're not alone. Alright, so that's all I'm getting for pile 1, guys. I hope you guys stay safe. And if you'd like to continue to look out for my readings, just subscribe if you'd like. Leave a comment, a like, or a dislike. Anything helps. And thank you very much. So now for pile 2, bloodstone. I have arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. Drum. Dream and journey. So already I'm seeing here, maybe we have to protect ourselves, or maybe you have to protect yourself before going to bed, whether that means setting an intention to be protected while you're dreaming and journeying in your sleep, because I know for me, I tend to travel a lot in my dreams. Just protecting yourself, even just wearing a certain, like a crystal bracelet, or using a crystal under your pillow, or a dream catcher, lighting some incense, whatever you think is helpful for you to protect yourself, I would highly recommend doing. Next we have patience. No matter what the situation or delay is, your desire will come when it is meant to. Then we have responsibility. Take responsibility for your own happiness. Okay, I'm going to read the rest. God of reflections. The qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. Angel of manifestation. Your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. And I feel like this kind of goes together with the responsibility of taking responsibility for your own happiness and patience, because at least with the law of manifestation or the law of attraction, we have to work for it and then let it go and let it come back to us. So this is kind of like a good kind of synchronicity here. Angel of communication. I was actually just about to say I see a lot of throat chakra colors here, like a lot of blue, so maybe we have to work on a throat chakra. And next coming out is the angel of communication. Communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. And sometimes when we tell things how it is, it actually opens the door up for better communication and better understanding and awareness between people, like in interpersonal relationships. Sometimes we think we know what's going on, and we think that we're all on the same page, but really we're not. And sometimes it takes a tough moment or a tower moment or a conversation to really get back on track and really understand each other as we should, or like as it really is. So for the animal spirit guides, we have the crocodile, which is opportunity, risk, fertility, and life. Then we have the cow, which is fertility, purity, and divinity. We have a lot of fertility cards here, interestingly enough. I should, yeah, right there. And then we have the bear, which is healing, divinity, invulnerability. Okay. I'm going to read the scarab next, which is regeneration. Alright, so I'm getting here that perhaps, let me flip these over so I can see this in like keywords so I can better put together these messages. So fertility doesn't always have to do with like being able to have a baby or those type of fertility as we would normally think of it. It could be fertility as in like fertility of new ideas, fertility of like just having that abundance of, or that fecundity of, excuse me, sneezing. Excuse me guys, sorry, it's allergy season. So reflecting on ourselves, as if some of you weren't sure which pile to choose, I would say, you know, you can go back and look at pile 1 because there are some similar messages here. As above, so below, looking at reflections, communicating, opening in the heart space. With this group though, I feel like there is some heart space things that have to happen, but there's definitely a huge component of throat chakra, clearing those blockages, speaking our minds, communicating with those that we need to communicate with, communicating our desires, taking those opportunities, risking, you know, taking that leap of faith in order to really kind of harness what it is that we want to manifest, what we've been working on all this time. You know, becoming more responsible for ourselves. You know, maybe you really enjoy dolphins, and dolphins mate for life. You know, we cannot control others. We can only control ourselves. We can only control what we say, how we react, what we do. You know, and that's something that's really important to keep in mind. I know personally a lot of times I will take things too seriously. I'm going to take those 2 cards because they wanted to come out. So I have the 7 of Swords, which, so this woman is turning men into pigs. Literally, this is also what it says in the Little White Book. And you see this woman doing some sort of spell work on this man, and you see a bunch of pigs everywhere. Then we have the Magician, another, I was going to say another snake symbolism, but that was in the other pile. I want to get some clarification. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, which again, this came out yesterday when I tried to record this. I tried to record this video yesterday, didn't work, but this also came out, and this is kind of like a Medusa figure, and the people who came in to attack are frozen into stone. Again, the Magician here, with the Magician card, the Angel Manifestation, and the Patience, you know, clearly you're really talented at getting what you want, but we got to work on communicating things and letting them go as well, and not holding others responsible for your happiness. We can only control ourselves, and I know sometimes it's hard to be like, oh no, this person made me so mad and I'm so upset and this and this and that, but at the end of the day, We can only control ourselves. We can control our own happiness. We can't control other people's happiness. Alright, Spirit, way too many cards, please. Yeah, like I said, if you were attracted to pile 1, I would go and watch pile 1. Because, hey, I said this, the leap of faith, the Fool card. Leap of faith, taking new opportunities. One moment, please, so I can put these up. Then we have the 8 of Swords. It's interesting with the 9 and the 8 of Swords here. And the 7. Whoa, guys, that's a lot of sword energy. 7, 8, 9. You guys are having, again, communication. This is totally about communicating. Learning to communicate better. Having more patience, even with others. You know, and the Moon. Okay? In this one, there's a triple goddess. The maiden, the crone, and the mother. Then we have here what is this one? The Sun, which in this one is very interesting. It's like, as above, so below, light and dark, yin and yang. This also speaks of mother and daughter relationships, or mother-child, or even just parental relationships, those type of things. Again, if you wanted to watch pile 1, please go watch if you want. The Knight of Pentacles came out in that one, and so did the 7 of Pentacles. And here we have, I believe this is the King of Swords, guys. Definitely working on how we communicate, working on what we say, how we say it, trying to be a little bit more vulnerable. I'm actually going to read the messages that come along with these animal knowledge cards. So the bear has symbolized divinity and healing in many cultures. The Ainu people of the northern islands of Japan believe the bear was a mountain god. In India, bears are believed to prevent disease. So, for example, children may ride on a bear's back to avoid sickness. And among the Finno-Ugric peoples, the bear was the god of heaven. The bear has figured prominently among Native American peoples who regarded it as a spirit helper. This painting of a bear woman dancing with a rattle recalls the Pawnee Indian story of Bear Medicine Woman, in which a girl born with the bear spirit has the power to heal. Guys, I know I keep saying this, but seriously, the power of healing in order to heal, there's definitely a need to unblock that throat chakra and really think about how we think in our mind space, because swords have a lot to do with how we think, our rational sides, our mind space. Scared, regeneration, and there's a lot of butterfly imagery here as well, and butterflies are all about transformation and metamorphosizing, and really going from something that seems kind of plain Jane to something beautiful, like a caterpillar cocooning into a butterfly. And when the caterpillar cocoons, it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy and work for that caterpillar to change its form into a butterfly. You know, it goes from crawling to flying. So to the Egyptians, the scarab, which is a type of beetle, symbolized the powers that govern the celestial bodies. A great scarab was thought to roll the sun across the sky. This belief arose from the scarab's habit of shaping a piece of ox dung into a ball, into which it laid its eggs, and rolling it about, generally from east to west. Scarab-like jewels were often placed in tombs of deceased relatives to give them the power of the sun and to facilitate their resurrection. And in this one, I see two people kind of looking at each other. So maybe there's a need to communicate with, if you're in a relationship with your partner, or if not, with anyone who kind of comes to mind, or even just with yourself. Really truly communicating what's going on and what you think, and taking the time to think about it. With the crocodile, I have alligators and crocodiles are creatures of the water, which is, water is emotions. So again, communicating our emotions. Particularly fecund swampland, which suggests both fertility and the feminine principle of life and birth. They have often been associated with dragons, which appear in myths and legends as wily guardians of treasures and keepers of wisdom. Stories that have revolved around encounters with these reptiles have often involved a new opportunity, but one that always carries significant risks. As with many mythological reptiles, the crocodile in this painting appears wise, menacing, and somewhat indolent. Like, indolent meaning a bit lazy or laid back. So the cow is among the most ancient of sacred animals.